What's up, everybody? We are back again with another video on the Ricoma EM-1010. This little baby is a bad boy, and if you are thinking twice about purchasing it, don't think twice. Just go ahead and do it, guys. Put the time in and learn it, and it's going to take care of you. Now, we're going to do something quick, easy, and fun today. You're going to need a few things. You're going to need some polypropylene fabric from your fabric store. I'm going to show you what that is. And I personally use some black cutaway stabilizer. I know normally we get white cutaway stabilizer, but did you know cutaway stabilizer also came in black? So I ordered some of that on Amazon. Links will be in the description down below, guys. And use my Ricoma affiliate link down below if you want to purchase your Ricoma EM-1010 embroidery machine, guys. Let's jump into this video right now. Alright, guys, so this is how we're going to start this off. I'm just going to grab my mighty hoop right here. This is the 8.5 by 13 inch mighty hoop, guys. Don't have any affiliation with Mighty Hoop. They're just outstanding company to work with. Well, to use their product. And what I'll do is I'll lay mine down like this so I can get a measurement. Grab my scissors, and like I said, I'm using black cutaway stabilizer. There we go. Got that right there. So I'm just gonna hoop that up. Just gonna drop my stabilizer on top like this. Doesn't matter which direction. And I'm just gonna hoop it, and we're ready to put this in our machine. Let's go over to the machine. Of course, we got our EM-1010 right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and put my hoop in there in the EM-1010, and we are hooped up and ready to go. Got my design already on the screen. Let me show you guys how I set this up. I hope you guys can see it, but got my design right here that I'm doing up on the screen. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit the thread button so you guys can see how I have this programmed. First one, 2, 2, 2, 6. So up above on my machine, I got my thread colors. I know the thread number 2 is black. So I got thread number 2, and then I put an F. And what that means is it's going to stop and it's going to frame out. Right? So thread number 2 is going to put a stitch, and that's going to be my placement stitch. I'm going to place my polypropylene on top of my placement stitch. Then thread number 2 right here is going to put a tack down stitch, and then it's going to frame out again. Then I'm going to trim my tack down stitch, and then thread number 2 again, which is black, it's going to put my border around there, and then last but not least, it's going to type it's going to embroider the text on there, which is number 6. All right, so right now, as it's looking, actually, you know what, I'm going to change one thing because I want to be able to, because I'm using black cutaway stabilizer, I'm going to change it to number 1, which is the placement stitch. I'm going to change it to thread number 1, which is going to be white, and I'm going to leave that frame out there, okay, so I can see it better. All right, so now that I got that done, let us go ahead, and since I have so much room in this area, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this in our machine. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys right now how I do this. I'm going to go ahead and hit design set, and these right here are what you want to do to duplicate. I see right here my design is just in the middle, and that's not taking up that much room compared to this large frame that we got. So I'm going to go 3 up and down and 3 across and see how that looks. Okay, so for right here, I'm going to go 3. Wait, first I got to clear it out. Then I'm going to go 3, 3, enter, right? So it's 3 right here. And then I'm going to go clear, 3, enter. So we're not seeing anything right now. So what I got to do is I got to space them out. See this number right here? So I'm going to space it out gradually to see how it comes out. So I'm going to put in 50 right here and then hit enter. All right, didn't move at all because that's actually 5.0. I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to hit 100. All right, and then I'm going to hit enter. All right. Okay. See how it spaced it out a little bit? All right, so that's cool. So let me do that again. I want a little bit more space, so I'm going to clear that out, and I'm going to hit 150. All right, and then I'm going to hit enter. Okay. All right, and I see how it's spaced out, but it's not exactly where I want it to be. It's kind of like off, so I'm going to reduce that a little bit, and I might even go 2. All right, so let me go ahead and hit this, clear that out. I'm going to go hit 120, 0, okay, and this I'm going to do 110, 1, 1, 0, 0, enter, Okay, let me see what that looks like. Alright, see, that's spaced out way too much, so I'm gonna reduce that significantly. Jeez. Okay, so let me go 50 with this one. 50, 0. Okay, enter. Alright, that brought that down nicely, but again, it is not placing everything exactly where I want to go, so I'm gonna hit OK. I'm gonna escape from here, and I'm going to go ahead and place everything inside of the hoop. Alright, so we can do that. But just to be sure that everything fits, because it's not fitting right now, I'm going to take one row off right here. So I'm going to go back to design set, and see the row going across instead of having 3. I'm going to clear that out. I'm going to put 2. Okay. Okay. Boom. Now I got everything fitting in there, and I'm going to go across and make sure everything is inside that hoop. So I know I got all those veteran tags right there, and now I'm going to go ahead and start my embroidery design, and it's going to go ahead and stitch out 6 of these veteran tags right here. Alright, so yeah, let's get this thing going. Of course, before we get moving and grooving on this design, we gotta lock our machine, and we're gonna trace around to make sure it does not hit the edge. Alright, so on needle number 1 is tracing. Make sure all these things do not hit the edge. We're coming right up to the edge right there, and right up to the edge right there. Alright, it's close, but no cigar. Very good. We got good space. I'm just going to scooch it over just a little bit so it's more in the center, and trace one more time. Alright, I'm confident that time. It's going to stop out right here. Alright, boom, that's more in the center. Alright, I'm confident in this design right here. So now I'm just going to go ahead and let it embroider out. Alright, so I'm going to hit start, and it's going to do all of the tack down stitches. Alright, so let's do it. I mean, these are placement stitches rather. It's actually doing one at a time, guys. We don't want it to do it like that, but that's okay for the sake of the video. It's only doing one at a time. That's okay. Thought I was doing something special there and saving time. Guess not. But anyway, guys, you want to go to Joann Fabrics, especially if you're doing applique like we're doing right now, and get yourself some polypropylene. This is polypropylene, and what it is actually, if you're using this to embroider, you don't even need a stabilizer, because this material is very, very stable, and it is like a hard type of backing that you can use, and it makes an excellent material to use for applique. And I know what you guys are thinking, you're already using black cutaway stabilizer, you don't need to use this, but no, this polypropylene has a finish that makes your applique design look pretty good, and it makes the patch nice and stable, kind of like cardstock. So I'm going to cut off a small piece of this, and I'm going to place it right on top of my placement stitch. Alright, so let's do that. I'm trying to give you guys an idea of how easy this stuff is. See, I'm going to take my little piece that I put down right here that I cut out, and I'm going to put it over the placement stitch. That placement stitch tells me where to place this, and now I'm going to hit the frame in button. Let me show you guys what the frame in button is. This right here is a frame in button. It pushes the hoop out, and then when you push it again, it pushes it back in. Now I'm just going to hit the start button right there. Since I already have the placement stitch down on here, it's going to go to needle number 2, and it's going to stitch my design, my placement stitch into place, which is this is called a tack down stitch right here. It's going to stitch it into place, and then I'm just going to frame back out again, and then we're going to trim the embroidery design. Okay, so let me go ahead and hit start. Needle number 2, like I said. There you go. We're a little bit out of focus, aren't we? Boom, boom. Alright, we got that tack down stitch done. Placement stitch, tack down stitch, and now we frame back out again. See how easy that is? Nice. Here we go, back in focus again, guys. And with this on here, I'm not even going to take it off. I'm just going to go ahead and trim this edge right here, nice and close to that stitch right there, as close as possible without cutting a stitch. Right? You can take your hoop out if you want to, but I'm just leaving mine in because it's really not necessary. What is necessary is that you be very careful not to cut the stitch, 1, and not to move the material, 2. Okay, so that's 2 things you got to be careful about. Alright, and I'm trying not to put my hand in front of the camera here, but I need to get a clean stitch. So I'm going to cut this out real carefully, and I'll be right back. Alright, so as you guys can see, we got that, all the access thread all cut out, and this is our applique part. So first we made the embroidery machine do the placement stitch. Now we put our material on top, it did the tack down stitch, we cut out the extra, and now we're going to start embroidering the design. Let's go. I'm going to go ahead and hit that frame in button again, and you see that machine go in. Now I'm just going to hit the start button, and it's going to start embroidering the steel stitch around the perimeter. It's going to go around the whole thing once, and then it's going to start embroidering the steel stitch. Now, for the sake of me wanting to upload this video and get this out to you guys, I just went ahead and embroidered one, but now I'm going to add some freight check onto this. If you guys don't have any freight check or don't know what it is, use my Amazon affiliate link down below to purchase yourself some freight check. But basically, it's something that enables you to cut really, really close to the edge of your satin stitch or your steel stitch, and just in case you might trim a little piece of that satin stitch, it'll keep it together because it's kind of like glue. Alright, so let me show you how you apply this stuff. So since we're not using this anymore, I can pretty much take this out of my hoop right here. We wasted a big piece of stabilizer, but that's okay. I should just use a 5x5 hoop, but it's okay. Alright, so with our freight check, we're just going to go ahead around the edges of the design and go ahead and put this down. And after we put it down around the whole perimeter, we're just going to let it dry before we trim our close to the edge. And what's so nice is because I use black thread, you're not going to be able to see, black cutaway stabilizer, you're not really going to be able to see the raw edge, the edge of any stabilizer that's left as I cut close to it. Alright, so that's the beauty of this. So now that I got the freight check on there, like I said, I'm just going to let the freight check dry, and it's kind of like glue. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim around this perimeter right here. And like I said, because of the freight check, it enables that if I accidentally trim a little bit of the stitch, it's not going to fray up because I put freight check on there, and it kind of like holds the edge together. Alright, so that's what that does. So let me let this dry and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so now our freight check is dried. But again, even though our freight check is dried, we still want to be very, very careful that we do not trim the edges, because we don't want to trim the edges purposely just because we got freight check on there. So I'm going to get real close to there, still being careful that I don't trim the edge, you know what I'm saying, so right there, and it's cutting very, very easy. I think my freight check, actually what's happened is the embroidery added a perforated line, kind of, sort of. I'll be surprised. No, I can't. I'm not going to pull it. I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if I can just pull it, but yeah, sometimes it does that, especially when you put in as many stitches as I did. I put the density of this perimeter right here on 30, and that's kind of a lot for this specific using this software, which is Chroma Lux. All right, so now that I have my thing, my patch, it looks good. It looks good, right? Still got a couple loose edges right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a lighter and I'm going to just burn the edges. Not burn, but see that right there? Boom. That just kills a lot of that thread right there. And I'm just going to pass it around the edge right there to get rid of some loose threads. Right? Moving it around, not keeping it still, to get rid of some loose threads right there. That burns up those loose threads on the back. You can quickly just pass it over the back to get rid of some loose threads. That shrinks everything down. Shrinks everything down. Gets the threads nice and tight right there. Alright, so boom, got our design right there. Got our thing looking good. See a little loose thread right there. Just go ahead and hit it off. Boom. And here is our patch right here. Looks nice and good. And because we use that polypropylene, our embroidery design is nice, and this is kind of nice and thick. Let me show you guys something else I did recently for a client. I did this over the weekend using the same polypropylene right here around the edges, And you guys see I embroidered around in the inside right here because that's what they wanted. This is what the client wanted right here. Back looks good, just like the back of this looks good. And what you can do, guys, is I could take this a step further right here by go ahead and I have some Velcro right here, and I can create a Velcro patch right here. So let me go ahead and grab my Velcro. I'm gonna grab my hoop and my hook and loop right here. Let me go ahead and get it together. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and put a hook and a loop together. All right, and I can go ahead and measure roughly what this is. The size of this right here, measure roughly, and I can go ahead and roughly cut out about how much I need, right, on that. So that's about the size of this patch. I'm going to go ahead and take my loop, hook, this is the hook, this is the loop. Typically people use the hooks, the loop side right here. So what I can do is I can do one of two things. I can go ahead and I can trim it while it's not adhered to that, or I can trim it while it's adhered to that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and trim it a little bit shorter, and I'm going to go ahead, this particular one right here has an adhesive on the back, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim it myself off camera, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere it to the back, and then I'm going to, no, I'm going to trim it first, right? And then I'm going to take this and put it on here, and I'm going to trim this to the same size, and then I'm going to stick both of them to the back. That way I can stick this side onto whatever I want to stick it onto. I can also embroider, sew right here lightly, real soft, onto there, and sew this on with a sewing machine going around the edge right there. And then I can sew this to my jacket or whatever it is I want to put it on there, and then I'll have a hook and a loop. Actually, typically, no, I said that wrong. Typically, this is on your garment, and this is on your actual patch. So this is actually the loop. The part that is not, that doesn't have the fuzz, is the loop, and this is the hook. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna trim this down to the size of this patch right here and put that on there. I'm just gonna show you guys the technique that I'm using. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this off already. Alright, and expose the sticky side. I'm going to go ahead and line this up on the back right here on the edge. And I'm just going to lay it down just like that. And this is very, very sticky, very, very tacky. Alright, got that down right there. So now, being as though I just laid it down, I can still pretty much take it up a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim around here. Like I said, it's really, really, really tacky. So I'm just trimming the outside. There's many different ways you could do this. You guys can measure it out and do this with an X-Acto knife, but just for the sake of this video, that's probably how I would do it. I would do it with an X-Acto knife first with the hook and the loop, and then place it. But for the sake of this video and for the sake of getting it done, you can do it like this also, right? So there's many different ways you can do everything. There's no right or wrong way. What's important is as long as it works. All right. So you guys can see what I did was I went in a little bit. I went in a little bit so that's not sticking out on the edge. I'm going to do the same for the top and bottom right here, and then we're going to be set and good to go. So there you go, guys. You can see we created a nice Velcro patch, right? You got the hook on this side right here, and here's our patch right here. And what you can do is, like I said, when I cut this down, or I could just cut a perfect square and place this onto my garment, and I can sew this onto my garment, and I can actually take my sewing machine and carefully go on the inside of here nice and slow, so this is more permanent. But trust me, this type of Velcro right here, I got this on Amazon. This stuff is sticky and it will not come off. So it's very, very good, very, very reliable. But like I said, for peace of mind, when you're doing it on garments, to have that sense of permanency, go ahead and, if you're good with a sewing machine, go ahead and sew that edge nice and slow, nice and carefully. Get to that edge, turn, sew, turn, sew, turn, sew, back stitch, cut, and then now it's definitely permanent and not going anywhere onto your fabric. You can even do that with some black thread so it blends in nice and perfectly. And like I said, with this also you do the same thing. But now that I have this, I can place this edge right here that's not, that still has the sticky tape on there to the back of this, I can get like some clips, clip that end, and go ahead and cut it nice and perfectly so it's nice and the same exact size as the bottom. And then I can go ahead and take this off and I can put it on my garment, and then I have a nice veteran tag right there, Velcro, and I can sew this onto my garment like I said and anything. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. You can change around with the wording. You can put Air Force, you know, you can put you know, whatever you want to put. You can put your name on there. Whatever you want to do, you can play around with it, and just something cool that I thought I would share with you guys today. So there you have it, guys. Something that's perfectly useful right there. I can go ahead and Velcro. I can take the adhesive off and put this on here if I wanted to. But I'm going to probably do it on a denim jacket or something like that, right? I'm going to sew this on to the denim jacket so it's nice and permanent. Sew this on to the Velcro that I stuck on there. And boom, I can go ahead and I can make different ones like this, and I can trade them out with designs and stuff like that. Guys, ideas, right? It's all about ideas. And guys, I'm not gonna stop giving y'all ideas till we can make this money together, guys. There's plenty of money for everybody to make, and that's what everybody needs to understand. Just because you have a good idea doesn't mean you can't share it, man. Share it and help other people get it too, just like you're getting it, right? So that's what this is all about. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Am I onto something? Is it something that you would want to consider? Is it something that you've tried already? Is it something that you're gonna do? How can we make this better? Leave some suggestions on how you can make it better in the comments down below so other people can read the comments and see how they can, you know, take the same thing and do it even better. Let's learn from each other. Let's trade ideas. But what do you guys think in the comments down below? Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you're in the market for a Ricoma embroidery machine, use my Ricoma affiliate link down below. If you want to purchase any of these supplies that I used to make this video, like the black cutaway stabilizer or the Velcro, use my Amazon affiliate link in the description down below. It's greatly appreciated. And guys, coming up, we'll be doing some of the same applique, but we'll be using some vinyl, some designer vinyl, so stay tuned for that, guys. And the best part about designer vinyl is when you put that tack down stitch, you can just rip the vinyl right off, and then you can put down your satin stitch. Ooh, look, some nice design. So stay tuned for those videos. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video. It's your boy Alan Wade, and I'm out. Peace.
Turn up that, crank it up. Why listen to the rest when you're rocking with the best, baby?